Rendezvous. Derek? Hey, how are you? I didn't know you still lived around these parts. I'm good. Yeah, I moved back here to take care of my parents after the accident. The accident? I'm surprised you don't know. About a year ago, my parents and I got into a horrible accident. We barely made it. Damn, I'm sorry, I had no idea. No, it's fine. I know you're a busy man. I hear you're quite the surgeon in the big city. Yeah, well, I got big shoes to fill, you know? I'm sorry about your father, Derek. Me too. I'm sorry, Derek. It was really nice seeing you. I have to go in to check up on my parents. Of course. Emily, I'm sorry. Hey, would you like to maybe get a cup of coffee, dinner, or something later to catch up? Yeah, sure. Dinner would be nice. Let me take a quick shower, make some food for my parents, and we'll meet back here like in an hour? Sounds good. See you then. I walked back home, unable to shake the feeling that I was no longer the friend I used to be to Emily. How could I not know about her accident? How could I not have been there for her family? When the time came, I walked across the street. I was nervous and I couldn't hide it. Will she ask me why I never came back? Does she hate me for it? What will we talk about? Is it okay to talk about our past? Is she married? Does she have kids? Stop, Derek, I thought to myself. There's no need to stress. I just had to be myself. We were just going to dinner and catching up. I took a deep breath and rung the doorbell. I waited. There was no answer. I wondered if the doorbell actually worked, so I knocked on the door. No luck. I raised my hand to knock once more, but the door flew open. Emily? There was nobody there. How did the door open? Did I push it? Confused and somewhat frightened, I walked in. Emily? I'm here. I spoke loud enough to be heard, I think. Derek. I heard Emily behind me before turning around to see her. She looked the same as earlier. Literally nothing changed. Her hair looked the same, she was wearing the same dress. I even smelled the same fruity scent from earlier. Derek, I'm so sorry. I'm running a little late. I just got out of the shower a bit ago and I need to finish up my makeup. Would you mind waiting in the living room for me? You what? But you look... I attempted to say it before she interrupted me. Yeah, just wait for me in there. Talk to my dad for a bit. You can tell him some of your hospital stories. I'm sure he'd like that. She smiled before running back up the steps. Okay. I walked towards the living room, towards the gradually increasing sound of static. It only got louder the closer I got. Drawn in by the sound, I lost sight of my surroundings, stepping on a small toy soldier. You know, one of the ones you used to play with as a kid. The green ones. With the rifles, the bazookas, the grenades, the binoculars, etc. I wish I could tell you which kind was the one I stepped on, but it was a little hard to tell. The arms had been cut off and the head melted in. As I put it back on the ground, I noticed a young boy playing in the back of the room to the right. Couldn't have been older than 5. I wonder whose kid that is. Could it be Emily's? Hey, buddy, is this little guy yours? I asked, trying to go into the room, but I was stopped by the sight of the little boy shaking his head and the door slamming in my face.
Who are you?
Shouted a deep voice from a distance.
What are you doing here?
It said a little louder this time. I carefully approached the voice, who only seemed more and more upset the closer I got. The static and the man's shouting were the recipe for a headache, but I walked into the living room. The TV was displaying nothing but white noise along with a symphony of static. Hi, Mr. Cooper. It's me, Derek. Remember me? I used to live across the street as a child. Derek and Cecile's son?
Derek, would you mind fixing that damn thing for me? My hips aren't the same anymore.
Yeah, sure thing, sir. I think you just have to change the input, I said, picking up the remote and switching between inputs until I was able to see a display.
Who the fuck are you and what are you doing in my house?
He shouted even louder than before, almost as if I just appeared in front of him out of nowhere. What? Sir, it's me, Derek. I'm here to...
You're here to steal Sarah from me, aren't you? I know what you're up to.
No, sir, what the...
I'll kill you and anyone who tries to take Sarah from me. She's mine.
Whoa, Mr. Cooper, I'm here to take Emily out to dinner, to catch up.
Oh, Emily, my baby's upstairs getting ready for a big date with a neighbor boy.
We hear someone clear their throat in the background. Dad, you're embarrassing me. Finally, I think to myself. Not that Mr. Cooper isn't nice, he just doesn't seem to be all there. Which would have been nice to know, you know, the usual, tell him some of your hospital stories and oh, he's pretty much crazy. Mrs. Cooper comes into the living room from around the corner. Derek, honey, it's so nice to see you again. Likewise, Mrs. Cooper. I stand up to reach out to her for a hug, when out of nowhere I feel the sting of her hand slamming into the left side of my face.
What the hell are you doing here? You better not try to break our little Emmy's heart again, you selfish son of a bitch!
Mom, what the hell? Emily screams out to her. Mrs. Cooper runs out of the room and up the stairs, leaving me standing next to Emily with my hand resting on my face. It helped ease the burning sensation. I look at Emily and whisper, maybe this wasn't such a good idea. I should go. Walking towards the exit, the little boy appears standing in front of his room once again. This time, he just stood there with an unexpected smirk and his hand up to his face, mimicking mine. The smirk turned into a full smile, and he shook his head in a no motion once again. What the fuck is wrong with these people? I wondered as I reached for the door, pulling it open.